This is a case study that you'll see it involves Korea, South Korea. UHD and HDR, as I'm sure you're all familiar with, and early window, which is the particular thing I'm going to return to. They're the most attractive pirate sources they are. That's what every pirate wants to send to his customers, whether they're paid or ad-supported customers. So as a content owner, Fox, our goal is to actually make money off of this high-quality content and early window content, so urgent content, but without stimulating additional piracy when we make it available. So the way we do that is forensic watermarking and related measures like geolocation, which I'm not going to talk about anymore. The four elements are distributor mark that we put on in our basically mastering and distribution infrastructure to identify the various people that we send the content to so that we can quickly see, well, when we have a leak, where did it come from? We have our distributors, in this case, we were successful in persuading our distributors to include a warning card to users, because of course the main purpose of this is deterrence rather than punishment. So we want to prevent people from stealing the content in the first place, and then the few bad apples that steal it anyway, we go after them. The key element here is the session-based watermark on each transmission to end users. So this happens to be VOD content. So each VOD purchaser or renter of the content is given a unique code that companies like this gentleman's company create the technology to do that. And then, of course, the punishment of the few bad apples is the last piece. All right, so Korea, I've already talked about a lot of the points on this slide. The interesting thing about this case study is it's actually several years now. So actually it's 4.5 years. So our first release was early 2014. We've got 35 data points to point to in this case. So in Korea, we and other movie studios, including the locals, have been able to create an ecosystem for early releases. That's the first release in anywhere in the world for us and for the fellow studios who are engaged in this. 35 of ours, and as I said, everyone else is, most of everyone else is participating. It's called SPVOD, and then so we've tried to prevent this from being a worldwide source of piracy for everywhere, both for Korea and outside Korea. Next slide, please. So again, this is sort of another representation that's specific to Korea, the session-based watermark I've talked about already. Pre-roll warning card, I know it's impossible to see, but I can tell you once I get closer what it says. Are you aware, and it says it in Korean, but this is translation. Are you aware, do you know that you can be punished for illegal copying and distribution? And the key point for us, the individual who copies or distributes this video without authorization can be identified and verified through a technological tracking system and can be held liable for money damages or punished according to related laws. That's a reference to criminal. So that's the warning card, which we're really happy about because it's just as important as the technology as far as we're concerned. And then we happen to, because it's a foreign language and a subtitle country, we use burned-in Korean subtitles to make it the content less valuable outside of Korea.